Good afternoon, library patrons. It is Friday afternoon. It's beautiful. The students are back. There's just a touch of autumn cool in the air in August now, and I feel like I'm going to venture off Magna Carta for a little while, and I'm going to talk about a few nooks and crannies of the Dewey Decimal System, places in the shelves where you might not be going to find your books, but maybe I'll be able to talk you into it. Today, I'm going to do a very selfish shelf-aware, and I'm going to Shelfish, maybe, all right, little pun. I'm going to go to a part of the Dewey Decimal System, 793.93, and I don't have to look that up because I remember it, because that is where role-playing games are, tabletop role-playing games. Spawned from the American art of Dungeons and Dragons, and I've started with one of my favorites, Blades in the Dark. We got a wonderful batch of donations from Evil Hat Games, and this was one of them, Blades in the Dark. We also have the supplement called Deep Cuts, and so if you're interested in that, we've got it. We've got role-playing games. So you're going to find these games at both 793.93 on the adult shelves, and we also have some games at 793.93 in the YA shelves, in the teen area. And you're welcome to go into the teen area, even if you're an adult who doesn't have a teen with them, to grab a book and then go about your business. We just don't want folks setting up shop in the teen area, right? We want to make it a safe space for teens. Anyway, we're starting with some fantasy crime, right? But we're in Ithaca, and staying with this Evil Hat Games theme, let's talk about Agon, right? Because the Odyssey just came out, and maybe you want to go on a mythical journey of your own. And this is where you'll do it. Agon. You go from island to island trying to find your way home, angering deities, trying to set things right, doing great mythical deeds. If the Odyssey makes you want to play a game, it's probably Agon that's going to scratch that itch. It is a beautiful game. It is written by John Harper and Sean Nittner, who are friends of mine. Not to name drop, but I think that's only fair to mention. And you want to get back to Ithaca? Agon's the game to do it. If you're already in Ithaca, you want to daydream about leaving Ithaca and coming back? We've got you covered. All right. Staying with Evil Hat for a little while. We got Thirsty Sword Lesbians. This is a game of romantic sword duels and kissing and flirting while dueling on the top of an airship or the precipice of a castle wall. This game is fantastic. It's flirty, it's lovely. If that's the kind of, if romantasy is something that you're interested in, this might be the game. This might be it. So come check it out. All right. What is next? We have so many choices. Recently added, Pendragon, Arthurian role-playing game. A beautiful new edition. Cover art by Mark Smiley, written by Greg Stafford, said to be one of the greatest role-playing games ever made. If you like The Green Knight, if you liked Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Dunk and Egg story, this might be it. This might be the way that you scratch that itch. So, Pendragon. We're cruising right along. We're cruising. We haven't even said any games with an ampersand in the middle. And if you know gaming, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to get really close. We've got the player core and the GM core of Pathfinder. They do these amazing handheld travel books. And we've got them. So if you need an extra Pathfinder book for your table, gotcha. These are second edition. So it is the most recent edition. And they're just easy to grab, right? Need a little bit less weight in your bag. There you go. Need one more game. You want to check it out, just see if you like it. We've got you. We've got you with Pathfinder. All right. Coyote and Crow by Connor Alexander, an indigenous game designer. I interviewed Connor Alexander for the American Library Association. I'm going to put a link in the doobly-doo, or I'm going to ask my colleague to do that. And you can read about what Connor says about this game. Coyote and Crow is the tabletop role-playing game set in an alternate future where colonization of the Americas never happened. In this world that is both familiar and entirely new, you'll take on the role of heroic characters adventuring in a changing landscape. A bold look into a different future full of possibilities and fresh perspectives, created and developed by a diverse, indigenous-led team. An amazing book, amazing game, and the reason why it ends up in a lot of role-playing games, or a lot of libraries rather, is because Coyote and Crow was kickstarted, and part of the Kickstarter was that if they got to a certain amount, they would donate a certain amount of books to libraries and schools. And so they have a website where you can just go and ask for a free book if you're a public library. And I have done it at every library I've worked at since it happened. Heart, The City Beneath, a really weird fantasy game. You can play, I don't even know how to describe it. You can play a what they call, I think, an apiarist, which isn't someone who just works with bees. It's someone who is a swarm of bees. You can be a magical swarm of bees in this game. Does that grab you? Heart, by Grant Howitt and Christopher Taylor. Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Am I going to fall apart in the middle of this? I might. Stay tuned. All right. So we have a bunch of Call of Cthulhu books. We got a ton. We've got the Investigator's Guide, Investigator's Handbook, Investigator's Guide for Cthulhu by Gaslight, the Keeper's Guide for Cthulhu by Gaslight, and Miskatonic University, which is a fictional New England university in a world of cosmic horror, in a town like Ithaca. I don't know where you're going to get your inspiration for a university in a world where things lurk beyond reality, but I'm sure you will figure it out. It's almost time. It's almost time to mention the elephant in the room when we talk about role-playing games, but we're not quite there yet. Not quite. Stay tuned. We're getting there. This is a box set of a game called Cairn, which is an amazing independent tabletop role-playing game, and this is in the Library of Things. So if you come into the library and then you walk past the desk and you look to your left, you can check out pots and pans and fishing poles and games. There are a bunch of great games and board games in there. So I emailed the designer of Cairn, Yucha Gal, and I said, hey, could I print out a copy of this game and put it in the teen area? And he said, no, don't do that. I'll just send you a bunch of box sets. And he did. I know that ours is currently checked out because someone came to Board Game Club, which is every Thursday, most Thursdays, from 4 to 6, and I talked them into checking it out because they love role-playing games. But I don't know when you're watching this. You know, this is time travel. You might be watching this and it might still be here. It might, we can put a hold on it for you. Let us know. All right. And finally, we've got to talk about, if we talk about role-playing games, talk about tabletop role-playing games, we have to talk about the elephant. We have to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. And do we have Dungeons and Dragons? Yes, we do. Do we have the Dungeon Master's Guide, the Player's Handbook, and the Monster Manual in Spanish and Espanol? Sí, we do. They're right here, 793.93, Spanish. It's in the YA section. I was so excited, I grabbed it when I knew I was going to be making this. Are we done? Okay, well, we talked about role-playing games you can check out at the library, which is super exciting, right? But what about books about role-playing games? How nerdy do we want to get? Let's just go all the way. We've got Leaving Mundania by Lizzie Stark. This is a book about the transformative world of live action role-playing games. Do you not know what any of those words mean? Well, then I have a book for you. Here we go. I think we're going to be getting more of these. There was more and more of books that are studying role-playing games and the history of them and how they shake out and the sociology of them. And there's more and more scholarship about it. And as they are, if they're affordable and it makes sense in our community, we're going to grab them. Speaking of which, I've got Volume 1 and Volume 2 of John Peterson's classic Playing at the World. This is all about the birth of role-playing games from the 70s on up, and it's dazzling. It's amazing. Do you want to know how this happened? Do you want to know what's changed in the role-playing scene? You know, how did people yell at each other about elves before computers? What did they do? Did they just yell out the window? They did zines and they wrote letters. It was wild and it was slow. You can read about all that here. Volume 1 and Volume 2 of John Peterson's amazing work. We've got more of John Peterson's books there, but I am over 10 minutes. I have nerded out. Are any of you left? Did any of you stay? I have no idea. But that's okay. I got to talk about my favorite thing, maybe in the world, tabletop role-playing games. So, in a job where it's always a pretty good day, right? I get to be surrounded by books. I get to be surrounded by librarian colleagues. I get to help people who are looking for other things and help them with their information seeking and serve the community. And a day where in a job where days are real good, I got to mix my favorite. I got to do chocolate and peanut butter. In November, we are looking at doing a game day. So keep your eyes open about that, November 2026. And it's real exciting. Gaming at the library is super fun. Gaming is a form of learning. Playing is a form of learning. And so learning should happen at the library. So it's a natural fit. Also, the gaming community is a creative community. And we love supporting creative communities, whether you're knitting or 3D printing or running a role-playing game. So on the first Wednesday of every month, I have a tabletop role-playing game brainstorming group called TTRPG Brainstorming Group. And so if you're creating a game and want to do some playtesting, come on up. Come on up, 6 to 7:30, the first Wednesday of every month. If you want to ask questions about tabletop role-playing games, how you can get started, any of that, you can email help@tcpl.org, and the email will find its way from me. Just put game help or TTRPG or Judd sent me, and it'll get forwarded to me, and I'll find you, and I'll reply to you. So this is the longest video ever. Of course it is, because I nerded out about my favorite games. I didn't even get into Blades. I mean, we barely skimmed the surface. But it's exciting. I hope you'll come and look in different parts of the shelves and find your favorite little area. And I hope you'll tell me about it. I'll talk to you soon.